So what do you think Bitcoin is going to be worth by the end of 2022? Drop in the comments below. Would really, truly, genuinely like to get your opinion. I have my opinion, and I actually do own Bitcoin. It is one of my largest holdings right behind Ethereum, and I definitely am interested in your guys' thoughts. Now, in this particular piece of content, I'm going to give you what this particular analyst thinks it will be worth. And just in a moment, I will tell you what I think it'll be worth by the end of 2022 as well. So what is your thoughts and what are your comments? What do you think it's going to be worth? Here's my opinion. I think it's going to be worth between 75,000 and 120,000 is what I think the Bitcoin will be worth. So if you want to split the difference, basically 100,000 is kind of in the middle of that. I always tend to be a little bit conservative. I always want to kind of give myself a conservative mark and then maybe a little bit of a stretch mark. So that's 75 to 120. And pretty much if you split that difference, you're going to get to about $100,000 is what Bitcoin could be worth by the end of 2022. So let's jump into this. So closely followed crypto analyst Willy Woo, he absolutely has the best name in the business. It's even better than mine. He says that Bitcoin is going to rally to new all-time highs as we step into 2022. Okay, so we talked about this on a podcast with Peter McCormick. So he points out that current all-time high previously has been 69,000, and to get to 100,000 would, quote, be nothing. I love that he's like, yeah, just be nothing. So that's kind of also why I tend to kind of look at it like maybe that 125,000 is a little bit of a stretch number, kind of get that from my sports days. You always had kind of a stretch goal, right? You had kind of a, hey, here's the minimum, here's kind of the medium, middle, and then there's your stretch goal. So that's like 75, 100, kind of 125 is how I look at it. He basically stated, Willie has said, quote, of course we can get a new all-time high. I agree. I think that 69,000 we will get to and we will pass this. By the way, there are other analysts. There's some that are really good, that are pretty much in line with this. And in fact, this kind of goes directly into the face and the heart of, are we going to enter a bear market sometime before we get into summer? And the indicators are right now that may not actually transpire, and that we might actually begin to see a tremendously bullish super cycle developing. You have to realize that the landscape is different now. The landscape of, where if you look at historical and how the cycles of Bitcoin have moved, you have a lot of new variables. You have countries that are now using Bitcoin as their currency and are continuing to buy Bitcoin. You have major ETF funds. You have major funds. You have a tremendous amount of institutional money now that have come into Bitcoin and Ethereum and things of that nature. You also have a lot more retail investors, that is you and I, that are in. I think that the landscape for Bitcoin is different than it was back when we kind of entered a bear market. So if you take all that into consideration, that it is very possible that this bear market that supposedly might have hit us in March and April, in fact, may not transpire, and that we might be at the beginning of a multi-year super cycle bull run, which is pretty interesting. What are your thoughts on that? All right, so again, I wonder what your number was that you dropped, but it looks like 100,000 is pretty much a given, and we might be able to go beyond that. And I just want to know your thoughts. So what I liked about this was that Willy Woo is extremely bullish on Bitcoin, and by de facto bullish on Ethereum, bullish on the entire market. Bitcoin and Ethereum, my two largest holding, make up about 70 to 80% of my overall portfolio, which to me is a good way to go about it. You have diversification, but you own the biggest blue chips, if you will, in the market. And then I own, Phantom, Algorand, Solana, other ones like that, Polkadot, Cardano, things of that nature, all the way down to Shiba Inu and Saitama, and all the ones that are fun to own as well. So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate you. Check out my Patreon, links in the description below. Got a new members-only weekly podcast starting this week where I divulge and bring you guys new projects that we're talking to that we think are going to pump in the very near future. So if that's something that you think would be kind of cool, check it out. Links in the description below. And that benefit is at the $20 level. We'd love to see you join. Take it easy. Have a good one. Go make some money. See you. Bye.